Welcome to Basketball Mechanics with Coach Greg. This video is lesson 2 in my series on layups, where I go over drills to develop underhand accuracy and versatility. I also go over different angles of approach for a layup. The format of the video has me coaching a beginner named Edgar through 6 drills. The first drill is a game of catch, which is the first drill in lesson 1. I recommend you repeat this simple drill many times, especially for the non-dominant hand. A list of all the mechanics being practiced in this game of catch contains the following. Catch the ball with all 5 fingers in the claw position. Early hand contact with the catch with arm movement down to slow the ball and absorb the force over time and distance. Release the ball around shoulder height and not low near your waist. Allow for your arm to follow through on the swing up to around head height. If the ball is thrown to you poorly, you practice all sorts of ways to move your body in order to still catch the ball with only one hand. Drill 2 practices overhand passing for our game of catch. Some layups are overhand, but most are underhand. Younger beginners in the elementary school age tend to do most layups overhand because of their small size and strength. In general, this changes around middle school age, where most layups should be underhand. Regardless, this drill helps develop ball control that will be used during layups from all sorts of angles and arm swings. This drill also helps your arm mechanics for shooting and for floaters, also known as runners. A floater or runner is when you mix a shot with a layup, but that is for another video. Drill 3 is scooping straight up to the basket. I want Edgar in a stagger stance position where the center of his body is at the first hash distance. I do not want his stance too wide, like being in a squat stagger hybrid stance. Finally, I want his right shoulder to align with the center of the rim. This will allow his arm swing to be in one direction, just straight up and ahead. These stationary scoop drills are more difficult than a layup scoop because your legs are not providing any force to the ball, and since you're not jumping, your release point relative to the basket is much lower. This drill will reveal if the ball is coming off your hand consistently. The pinky and thumb should lose contact first, and then the 3 fingers in the middle completely release the ball last. The ball should not be released by the right 3 or the left 3 fingers, but by the 3 middle fingers. After 5 or 10 made scoop baskets, move back to the second hash mark. Any further than this is not a game like scoop and not recommended. Second hash and being stationary is already pushing the limits of your scoop arm mechanics. Drill 4 is also a drill from lesson 1 and are scoops at a 45-degree angle from the block. Stand with the right foot back on the block and have your right shoulder and arm aligned with the line of the side of the red box. In general, your target is the corner of the red box, but as your skill develops and your experience grows, your target will be at different locations on the backboard depending on the angle of approach and path of the scoop. Drill 5 is learning how to side scoop. Instead of scooping the ball up and in front of your body, you swing your arm out to the side. The ball is released around shoulder or head height. The shoulder muscles provide most of the force and movement, but on the release, the wrist does help with a little wrist flick up. The first video is me demonstrating the motion and just throwing the ball up and across my body. If I swing my arm out to my side and was trapping the ball with both hands in front of my belly, that would be 0 degrees. If I was trapping the ball above my head, that would be 90 degrees. But what I am demonstrating with the side scoop is a 45-degree angle in between both of those. My arm swings out to the side and upwards towards the basket. For positioning, my heels are at block distance from the basket. My nose is aligned with the outside of the rim on the right side for my right arm side scoop. To push my limits, I can step a little to the center and align my nose with the center of the rim, which forces my arm swing to be quite wide. Edgar's first attempts look rigid with his arm and body motion, but he starts to get some lift and spin on the ball eventually. Again, it's good for a beginner to practice a mechanic with a simple goal and to remove the challenge of making a basket. Now, when attempting to make a basket, some of Edgar's side scoops are not released from a wide position. His last 4 attempts, however, are released fairly wide, and he makes 3 of them. For drill 6, the underhand scoop is straight up and forward for blue cone and for purple cone. The side scoop motion that was practiced earlier is used for the angle from yellow cone and for orange cone. The angle from red cone on the left side is too shallow an angle for a left-hand scoop. The ball will hit the bottom of the backboard. This extreme angle requires a right-hand scoop. Each of these positions require the student to adjust their layup mechanics for each angle of approach. The blue cone is at the second hash extension and is the most common layup angle of approach. The purple cone is a more shallow angle of approach from the side. Any closer towards the baseline and the resulting angle of approach would cause your right-hand scoop to hit the bottom of the backboard. The yellow cone is positioned to make the approach straight ahead towards the side of the backboard, which requires your shoulder to swing out with the side scoop motion. Since your 2 steps forward are not along the ideal angle to bounce the ball off the backboard, your shoulder and wrist need to create that ideal angle on the jump up. The orange cone is placed on the left side of the court near the second hash. The first reach step of the layup is towards the right side block, but the second tuck step is angled towards the backboard. Both steps are not in the same direction. The red cone is at the left block distance from the baseline and is an extreme angle for a left side layup. At this extreme angle of approach, the left-hand scoop would hit the bottom of the backboard, so a right-hand scoop is required from this angle. I set up each of the cones about a second hash distance away from the basket. After the first set of all 5 cones, you could increase the distance by 1 to 3 cone lengths and repeat the set. Thank you for watching Lesson 2 on developing accuracy with underhand layups and practicing different angles of approach in my series on layups. Up next is Lesson 3, which covers how to do a layup from a dribble, and Lesson 4 is on reverse layups. If anything in this video has helped you learn or coach basketball, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel. Doing this increases the chance that somebody else may see these videos and help them on their journey in learning this sport.